welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and today we're going to talk about Mohamed Diarra, the newest Missouri Tiger basketball player. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Facebook, and find us on Instagram, guys. Now, Mohamed Diarra, newest Tiger commit for new coach Dennis Gates, 3 days after being announced as the head coach. So Gates wasted no time in getting his roster remade here. And, taking a look at Diarra, he's originally from Paris, not Paris, Missouri. No, that's from Paris, France. And he is 6'10", listed at 215. He's a JUCO guy. He was from a prep school in New York when he was being recruited out of high school. That was class of 2020. He ended up going JUCO, ended up in Garden City, Kansas. That's the western side of Kansas, almost southwest Kansas. That's a heck of a transition from Paris, but, that's life, I guess. So he's got 4 years to play 3 because he's played 2 seasons, but his freshman year does not count because of COVID and all that. And so looking at Diarra, he averaged 17.8 points a game and 12.5 rebounds per game. And JUCOrecruiting.com had him as the #1 junior college player in the country. So it's a bit of a statement by Gates getting Diarra just this quickly after being announced as the head coach. His coach at Garden City said that in terms of recruiting, you name it, they wanted him. That could be a coach vouching for his guy, but who knows? Lots of guys going after him. I know Mississippi State was an SEC school that was going after him. I took a look at Diarra's film, and what I saw was a guy that for 6'10", was not a back-to-the-basket traditional post player. He probably will play the 5, but he can play outside. He is capable of creating off the dribble, and he's got some quickness. I saw him in one clip staying with the dribbler on kind of a secondary fast break. He was dribbling from half court. He stayed with him and blocked his shot. And this was, in transition, that's impressive. And let's see, what else did I see? Well, if he's got the ball outside, at the top of the key, he can create off the bounce, and that can be off of a quick move. That can be off of, maybe picking up a dribble and then, using a spin move to back away and create his own shot, like off a fadeaway. And I also saw some Euro step type moves that you can see kind of the European upbringing that influenced his game. You can see that when you watch him play, particularly when he's creating his own shot. And it's big for Missouri because looking at Mizzou's roster, what's this team need? Well, it needs a point guard, it needs a shooter, and it needs a true post presence. Diarra is capable of being that. He's 6'10", which is great. That's perfect for SEC play. 6'10" guy will work in the right situations. At 215, he needs to get the SEC strength conditioning program going on. I'd like to see him at 225. He might have the frame for 230 without sacrificing any of his quickness. I'd love to see that. I think that would have a big impact on his game down in the interior, because there was a few moves where he was just taller and was able to get away with just being taller. That's not going to happen in SEC play. He's going to have guys just at the same size as him or close enough to it. He's going to have to be able to be strong. So adding a little bit of weight will help him in that regard. As for this roster, I started to talk about that. I think this is big for Kobe Brown. We're assuming Kobe Brown's sticking around. He hasn't announced anything about transferring or what have you. And I think we're getting to the point where we would know. So Kobe Brown was kind of only real threat inside for Mizzou. And I think having Diarra inside, maybe in that 5 spot, depending on how the roster shakes up, that allows Kobe to come out from that 5 spot, which he really isn't meant for. And with Diarra averaging 17 points a game, that can let Kobe Brown be kind of a complementary role. And that is where he can be really dangerous, I feel like. I think, as being the star of the show, he can be okay. We saw it. There were times where he just was overmatched, even though other games he looked great. So I think this is going to be good for Kobe Brown in conference play in particular, moving to a 4, potentially even to a big 3. We'll see, depending on other roster moves that are made, additions, and what have you. So I think adding Diarra is good because there was nobody better to begin with, and I think it makes Kobe Brown a better player. So on the interior, Mizzou, I think, is a lot better for this move. It's the first move for Dennis Gates right out of the gate, pun sort of intended. And we'll see what other moves Gates has up his sleeve. I think we're going to see another 3 to 5 moves made with new players brought in. That's all I've got for this video. Hope to do more as Mizzou rebuilds its roster. Keep it tuned to Under the Arch Sports as Cardinal baseball kicks off and the Blues continue their push for the playoffs. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope to see you guys next time.